Cade Cunningham is one of my favorite basketball players of all time, and while that may feel like something that's outlandish to say about a player who's only played in 64 games in his NBA career, basketball is about more than the NBA, and I've been watching Cade Cunningham for years before the NBA, going back to his junior year in high school, and his game always intrigued me. He has one of the most interesting development curves and development situations prior to entering the league, and I believe this is a big reason why he's the ideal franchise player to build a team around. There were 4 points prior to the NBA experience-wise that I want to talk about when it comes to Cade Cunningham. His time at Montverde Academy during his junior and senior years of high school, as well as his time with FIBA U19 during 2019, where he was able to play on a world stage. His time on the EYBL circuit after his junior year of high school and prior to his senior year of high school, and his lone season at Oklahoma State as a true freshman prior to entering the 2021 NBA draft. Because each of these points prior to his NBA experience, we saw Cade play a different role. At Montverde and with the FIBA U19 team, he was a primary passing initiator that took less of a scoring role because of the team he was on, due to the fact that those were some stacked teams. Both of those teams that he was playing on had multiple future lottery picks. During his EYBL run before his senior season, he played more of a heliocentric role on that team as a creator for both himself and his teammates. And during his freshman season at Oklahoma State, he took on, in my opinion, his most intriguing role as a scoring wing, high post forward hybrid who was basically asked to just be a go-to scorer. And here's the thing, he excelled in all 3 of those roles. At Montverde, he was the Naismith Prep Player of the Year, Mr. Basketball USA, and the engine of arguably the best high school basketball team ever during his senior season. He was a key reason as to why Team USA won gold at the 2019 U19 World Cup in Greece. He was the EYBL MVP after averaging 25.1 points per game, 6.6 rebounds per game, and 5.2 assists per game, playing against other top high school competitions on one of the most loaded AAU circuits in the country, and he was a consensus first team All-American, National Freshman of the Year, and Big 12 Player of the Year in his lone season at Oklahoma State. So that's 3 different roles that he played, and also had a star to superstar impact for the level he was playing at. And that's important because it shows that Cade can excel at a high level in multiple roles on offense, which makes him very versatile and very lineup flexible due to his skill set and the fact that he's 6'6", 220 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. However, we can't just look at before the NBA to claim that Cade is a future superstar, because we have seen plenty of players have awesome priors who weren't great NBA players. So let's also look at Cade's rookie season in the NBA to see the signs he showed of future stardom as well. Cade Cunningham had a really good rookie season. He averaged 17.4 points a game, 5.5 rebounds a game, and 5.6 assists per game. Now, the rookies in NBA history to average at least 17 points a game, 5 rebounds per game, and 5 assists per game include multiple All-Stars, All-NBA guys, MVPs, Hall of Famers, and future Hall of Famers, as well as Tyreke Evans. Now, this is no insult to Tyreke Evans, because Tyreke Evans was actually a pretty good player, and if Tyreke Evans is also the floor for what your NBA career could look like, then you clearly have a very high floor, and clearly have a lot of talent, because a guy putting up 16, 5, and 5 over a 10-year NBA career is far from the worst possible outcome for a basketball career in the world. Now, I will also say that Cade's efficiency wasn't the greatest as a rookie, to put it lightly. His true shooting percentage was 6.4% below the league average, his field goal percentage was 4.5% below the league average, his 2-point percentage was 6.1% below the league average, his 3-point percentage was 4% below the league average. On top of this, he shot 34.9% on 645 total jump shot attempts. However, his mid-range numbers did intrigue me. He shot 41.3% from the mid-range area. Granted, it was only on around 2.2 attempts per game and only accounted for 13.3% of his offensive field goal attempts, but given his numbers from the free throw line, on top of this, I am encouraged by his potential as a mid-range shooter and a shooter overall moving forward. He was also a decent finisher as a rookie. He shot 58.1% in the restricted area on 301 total attempts. He shot 51.5% on layups on 303 total attempts. He shot 51.9% on 443 total attempts within 10 feet. Not great numbers, but not terrible numbers either for a player who averaged 16.1 field goal attempts per game as a rookie. In fact, I actually don't worry too much about the efficiency when it comes to Cade Cunningham's scoring. When I watch the tape, I see the same signs I saw prior to the NBA as a shot creator and scorer that made him such an elite prospect. Overall, I really like his shot diet and his shooting profile. He may not be the quickest athlete in the world, but he makes up for it with really good craft and creativity, as well as good strength. I think he showed shooting potential that's a lot better than what his numbers as a rookie suggest. Part of this is him tweaking his form, which will take some time to get used to at game speed reps. So I could see a massive jump in his efficiency in year 2 as he gets more used to that form. Also, he didn't lack any confidence as his scorer either, which is always a good sign. He didn't shy away from taking shots even when they weren't falling. Sometimes that can be a bad thing as it leads to bad shot selection, and there were times on tape I did feel that way. But honestly, for the most part, I felt he was taking good shots on tape. They just weren't falling due to the fact that he was tweaking his form a bit. And I didn't feel like they were bad misses either. More misses that were the natural product of adjusting the form. Honestly, I believe tweaking his form may have hurt him in the short term, but will more than help him in the long term, to say the least. Now, I do have some concerns with Cade as a scorer on tape. His handle could be tighter, and I think that would help him improve his ability to create separation off the dribble. It's really a nitpick, but his handle has been something that's just solid right now, not great, and improving that has been something that people have put in his flaws category since high school. But I do think that the handle improving or not doesn't really change how I view his ceiling, because his ceiling is insanely high regardless. The other thing is his contact aversion. He does shy away from contact at the basket when he doesn't have a clear finishing angle. This is another thing that I've noticed since high school, and the reason I bring this up is because he should be a 7+ free throw attempt per game guy based off his skill set, but he only averaged around 2.6 per game as a rookie, which is pretty low even for somebody that was just a rookie in the NBA. Now, I do think he can improve in this area. He has shown and proven he can improve in areas that people view as flaws in the past, but it is something I would like to see him improve on because it's clear he has the skills to do it, and the finishing flashes and shot creating flashes suggest that he can. Cade shows a lot of promising signs as a scorer with areas he can improve on as well. But it's not just about his ability to score either, it's also about his passing ability as well, because he is a very gifted passer. In fact, I would argue his ability as a passer is even better than his scoring ability, and his scoring ability is an area he has a lot of potential in, so that really speaks to how good I believe he is as a passer. He has insanely good passing vision, he's really creative and uses good manipulation tactics as a passer, and he has a good grasp of his scoring ability as well as his scoring gravity, which is very important when it comes to passing playmakers. But there are two things that I really love with Cade as a passer. First is his versatility as a passer. He can pass in the PNR, he can pass from the high and low, drive and kick, pass well in transition. He really does passes well on all facets of the game. The second thing is his control and pace as a passer and really a playmaker in general. Cade doesn't play at the speed that other teams want him to. He plays at the speed that he wants to. The ability to control pace is one of many things that separate good passers from the great passers, and it's something that is really impressive to have at a super young age, which Cade does. It's a gift some players have or don't, and Cade has that gift. His feel for the game as a passer and playmaker is off the charts, and he knows how to use that to his advantage. One thing that I do think he needs to work on a bit is his pass accuracy. It's not terrible, but it does need some work, and given how ambitious he can be as a passer based off the way he reads the floor at such a high level, being more accurate could help him out a lot. Cade also just displays the leadership and wiring to be a franchise player. He likes to get his teammates involved. From all accounts, he's a really good teammate and leader, and the moment isn't too bright for him either. He doesn't back down from a challenge, he takes over games when his team needs him the most, and something I picked up from watching him in person a few times over the years is he has a bit of that petty edge to him where he'll just hold some small grudge to fuel an incredible performance, and he'll let whoever he's holding that grudge against know that from the start of the game. He has all the tools from both a skill set and mindset standpoint to be a superstar, be a top tier player in the league, and the centerpiece of a rebuild where the end goal is to be a title contender. Cade Cunningham is somebody I have stated multiple times as one of the 5 best prospects I've ever evaluated, and he's somebody I've been talking about on YouTube for years now, whether it be on this channel this year, over the past few months that I've been uploading, or on the old channel where I talked about him multiple times over the course of 2 or 3 years. And I will be honest with you, his rookie season made me really confident in my assessment of him prior to entering the league. He's not perfect and does need to work on things, but if you couldn't tell when talking about his flaws in this video, I basically was saying some variation of, yeah, he could work on this, but it isn't like he's flat out bad at it and doesn't show any signs of potential in this area. And it's true, there aren't many things you can look at, if anything you can look at with Cade as a basketball player, and say that he's flat out bad at it at the NBA level. And his combination of work ethic, motor, and talent are why I believe he can improve on those areas. Obviously, we will need to see results eventually, but those indicators are why I believe we will eventually see those results. Now, I will admit that I am biased when it comes to Cade. I mentioned in the intro, he's one of my favorite basketball players regardless of level ever. He's one of the most impressive prospects I've seen, not only on TV, but in person as well. And honestly, I think he can be a superstar in this league, which is not a title I throw around lightly. Superstar means one of the 5 to maybe 10 best players in the world. And I think Cade has that very combination that separates those level of players from the rest. And at the very least, I don't see a world where Cade isn't a starter level player. That's how high I think his floor is. But at the end of the day, only time will tell. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, so if that's something that interests you, I really think you would love this channel, and liking and subscribing are the best ways you can help support me, so I can make more content for you guys in the future. If you like my content, you want to check out stuff that I make outside of basketball, I have a long form video essay channel you can check out, link to that channel in the description below, in the pinned comment. Haven't uploaded there in a little while, but I do plan on uploading something there soon. 2 videos from that channel will be popping up over here. You can check those out. Check out a video that YouTube recommend from this channel over here. Click the icon in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out other videos if you want to do that. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.